The first time I noticed my wife deleting messages, I didn't say anything. It happened on a Sunday morning while we were still in bed. Claire was beside me, half under the blanket, scrolling her phone with that blank, distracted expression people wear when they think no one's paying attention. I wasn't trying to snoop. I just looked over at the wrong moment and saw her open a message thread, read something, and then delete it immediately. Not archive it. Delete it. The movement was so fast and practiced that it didn't feel accidental. When she realized I was awake, she locked her phone and smiled. "Morning," she said. "That should have been nothing. Married people value privacy. Phones are private. Messages get deleted for all kinds of reasons." But something about how quickly she hid the screen stayed with me. My name is Ethan. I'm 34, and until a month ago I would have told you my wife and I had the kind of marriage people describe as easy. Not perfect. Just steady. We'd been together 8 years, married for 3, and the rhythm of our life was so normal it had become nearly invisible. Work, takeout on Fridays, laundry on Sundays, pretending we'd eventually repaint the guest room. That was before I started noticing patterns. Claire began keeping her phone face down. She took it into the shower. She changed her passcode after years of not having one. And twice, when I entered the room unexpectedly, she minimized something so fast it practically confirmed it mattered. If you've been with someone long enough, secrecy has a physical texture. You can feel it before you can name it. I didn't confront her right away. I did what unhappy suspicious people always do first. I watched. A week later, I saw her deleting messages again in the kitchen. This time I asked, lightly, "Who keeps texting you?" She didn't look up. "Work stuff. On a Saturday night. At 11:48 p.m. I nodded like I believed her, but that was the moment the suspicion hardened into something uglier. Another man. What else was I supposed to think? Then came the wedding photos. Claire's younger sister was getting married and wanted to borrow some of our decorations from storage. We keep old albums and wedding boxes in the hall closet, so while Claire was out picking up coffee, I pulled everything down to look for the table numbers we'd saved. That's when I found the envelope. It was tucked inside our wedding album, between posed church photos and candid reception shots. No label. Just a thick white envelope with a stack of loose printed pictures inside. At first I thought they were duplicates the photographer had forgotten to include. They weren't. They were pictures from our wedding day, but not the ones I'd ever seen. In every photo, the framing was strange, tighter, off-center, almost obsessive. Claire standing near the window while getting ready. Claire at the reception table, not smiling. Claire dancing with me, but the camera focused past my shoulder. And in the background of almost every picture was the same woman. Mid-50s maybe. Dark coat. Pale face. Standing at the edge of the room like she didn't belong there. In one picture she was near the back pew of the church. In another she stood outside under the trees. In the last one, she was watching Claire from across the parking lot. I actually felt cold looking at them. Because I had been at that wedding. I knew every guest. And I had never seen her before. When Claire got home, I was sitting at the kitchen table with the photos spread in front of me. She stopped in the doorway and went completely still. For a second, neither of us said anything. Then I asked, "Who is she?" Claire put the coffees down without answering. The silence told me more than words would have. Claire. She looked at the photos, then at me, and said quietly, "Where did you find those?" That answer was bad enough on its own. In our wedding album. She sat down slowly across from me, and I watched panic move behind her face like something trying to find a way out. "I was going to tell you," she said. That is one of the worst sentences a spouse can hear, because it means they already know the truth exists, they just hoped you'd find it later. Tell me what? Claire picked up one of the pictures with shaking fingers. That's my mother. I stared at her. Claire's mother had been dead for 15 years. At least, that's what I had always been told. I knew the story well. She died when Claire was in college. Sudden aneurysm. Hospital. Funeral. A tragedy that shaped the entire family. I had heard her father talk about it. I had seen framed photos. I had listened to old stories over Christmas dinners. Dead. And yet there she was in our wedding photos, standing 10 feet away from us in a dark coat. No, I said. No, your mother is dead. Claire started crying immediately. She was supposed to be. The truth came out in pieces. Her mother hadn't died. She had left. Apparently Claire's parents had been drowning in debt, and her mother had been having some kind of breakdown that no one in the family wanted to talk about. One day she disappeared. Her father told everyone, including Claire's relatives, that she had died suddenly because it was easier than admitting she had abandoned them. Claire found out the truth 2 years before our wedding. Her mother contacted her through email. That was who had been messaging her. That was why she kept deleting the conversations. I just stared at her. You knew before we got married? Claire nodded. And you never told me? I didn't know how. That answer made me laugh, but there was no humor in it. You let me believe your mother was dead for 8 years. I know. She came to our wedding. Claire covered her face and cried harder. I told her not to. She said she only wanted to see me once. The room felt unreal. It wasn't an affair. It wasn't another man. It was somehow stranger and, in a different way, worse. Because this wasn't about cheating. It was about the fact that my wife had carried a hidden life beside our marriage for years, emails, secret contact, emotional history, and decided I was not allowed into it. Why keep deleting the messages? I asked. Claire wiped her face. Because every time she writes, I hate myself for answering. That was the first thing she said that felt fully honest. Her mother had reappeared off and on for years. Sometimes apologizing. Sometimes asking for money. Sometimes sending long rambling messages about regret and how she never stopped loving her children. Claire never told her father. Never told her sister. Never told me. She said she was ashamed. Ashamed that she answered. Ashamed that part of her still wanted a mother. Ashamed that if she told the truth, it would make the whole family story collapse. And the wedding photos? She mailed them to me last month, Claire whispered. She said she wanted proof she had been there. That line stayed with me. Proof she had been there. As if standing in the shadows of your daughter's wedding counts as motherhood. I wish I could say I reacted with compassion. I didn't. I was too angry. Not at the mother, though I hated her instantly, but at Claire for letting me build a life beside a lie she had no intention of correcting. For 3 weeks, our house felt different. Not louder. Not more dramatic. Just damaged. Claire offered to show me the emails. I read them all. That made things worse before they made them clearer. Her mother was exactly what I feared. Selfish, unstable, manipulative, always reaching for emotional access without taking responsibility for the wreckage she had left behind. Every message sounded like a woman rehearsing regret while still centering herself inside it. The part that hurt most was seeing Claire become smaller in those emails. Younger. Needier. Still trying to win something that should have been given freely decades ago. Last week, Claire finally blocked her. Not because I demanded it. Because she read one message too many where her mother asked for just a little help with rent and realized the pattern would never change. We're still together. But not unchanged. People think betrayal has to involve sex to count. It doesn't. Sometimes betrayal is letting your spouse believe a false version of your life because the truth is too messy, too humiliating, or too painful to share. I still think about those wedding photos sometimes. My wife smiling. Me beside her, completely unaware. And her mother, half hidden in the background, watching from the edges like a ghost. The worst part is that she wasn't a ghost at all. She was just a secret.